Hello and welcome, Adam Thomas from Bouncing Touch Reflexology. So good to see you, and thanks for joining me again. So, next video in the series on difficult reflexes. Today, we're going to look at the kidney. And I get a lot of feedback from the kidney. Not necessarily it's hard to work, but it's hard to find, right? Where is it? How does it line up on the feet, and how do we go about working it properly, right? Tends to be the mystery of where the kidney and the ureter tube and where the bladder is. So the whole urinary system, I've found that after I show my students, they come back to me or they easily forget how it is that, how it is to find it, right? Because a lot of reflexes, like the shoulder reflex, it's right across the top of the ball of the foot, right? It's something easy to find. It's something very visual. There's a structure to find. But with the kidney, it's kind of a little bit buried in the foot. So in this video, I want to share with you how to basically take away the mystery of the kidney. So the kidney tends to be a big mystery of where it is exactly. So I want to show you two methods that I find work really well to let me know where they are. First method is going to be the feeling method. Basically, you're feeling for where it is. And the second method is going to be actually mapping it out so that you can know exactly where it is, right? So you can use both of these methods. One isn't better than the other, just one might work better for you. And so let's dive into that. So the first one, feeling method. Now the kidney is going to lie right down the middle of, between basically the second toe and the third toe, but mostly under the third toe. So right down the middle of the foot. And in this method, I kind of hold the toes not too firmly back, but just a little bit back, like that. And then I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to rub it up and down like this. And I'm using a pretty good firm pressure because you don't want to go too light or use your nail because you're going to end up tickling the person. But you're going to just go like this, and you're going to actually feel a little like speed bump underneath the skin. And what I mean by this is if my finger was underneath this towel like that, right? You can't, if I pull it tight here, you can't actually see my finger, right? But when I put my thumb over it, I'll actually feel it, right? When I'm going like this. So if I'm going too light, I'm not going to actually feel it, so you have to actually dig in a little bit. And by pulling the toes back like this and then going like that, you're going to find that will find a little bit of a speed bump in there, right? And for me, I find it right there. Okay, and so that is where the kidney is for this particular person I'm working on, right? And other people might be a little bit higher, might be a little bit lower, but for this person, it's right there. And so I can work my kidney by, working up like this way. I can work it down this way. But that's how I find it. Okay, and then I can work out that way, work down and into the bladder, right? Just to complete the whole urinary system, right? But finding the kidney tends to be the hardest part. So this method seems to work really well. And another little thing to be aware of here is make sure that you start at least the solar plexus area, and you also end, at least down into the lower intestines or the small intestines, right? So if you're just going like this, you're not going to feel that speed bump that I was explaining with my finger under the blanket, right? So you really have to slide it all the way down, and then you'll make the line a little bit shorter when you get a sense of where it is that you want to get it. So there it is right there. Method 2 is actually mapping it out. So where it is located is underneath the diaphragm line. So the diaphragm line is when you pull the toes back, you'll be able to see this clear defined line here. That is where the diaphragm is. Okay, so you have that line there. The hip line now. If you come up with your thumb and feel the outside here, there's a little bone that sticks out right there. that is going to be your waistline landmark. Okay, so now you have those mapped out. Okay, so I'll use my thumb there. This doesn't go all the way across, but that'll give you the idea. Now, simply, it's right in the middle of these, right down the center of the foot. So take third toe, draw it straight down, and now you have a line like that, and then you have a line dividing these two in half. So it's going to be right there. And if I do the feel method, that's exactly where I found it. Okay, so again, diaphragm line, waistline, center, third toe, and between these two toes, between the diaphragm line and the waistline, halfway, right there. That will give you the kidney, right? And then again, you can work it. Once you know where it is, work it out and work it into the bladder. And the bladder is that puffy area right down here, right? So the kidney tends to be one of those that are quite difficult to find, but hopefully those two methods will help you out. I use both methods because sometimes I was working on a person that actually had their kidneys removed, and so I couldn't actually feel it. In fact, I felt a bit of an indent, which was a really amazing experience, and I had that when I just finished school. So again, I was sort of like, oh, am I actually doing this right? And yeah, I was, and I actually found where it was because it wasn't there. I found that like I felt something was missing, right? So that was really interesting. And so what I had to do then is use more of the grid of how to work it and where it is, right? So there's both methods are just as important as the other, right? So, but hopefully those two methods will help you feel a little bit more confident and, you know, unveil the mystery of where the kidneys are, right? So hopefully that helps. So yeah, if you have any suggestions on, you know, where the kidneys are and how to help that, you know, explain better, leave a comment below. That'd be really great to help us out. Anything else? So I have about 3 other videos that are in this series. So if that's something, you know, if this is something you're into, difficult, you know, how to work difficult reflexes, subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell icon so that you get notified when there's new videos that come out, right? If not, you can go to my channel and kind of search through all the other videos and you'll find the other ones in the series, right? Or I'll leave them in the description as well. So yeah, till next time. Adam Thomas from Balancing Touch Reflexology. Remember to keep those feet happy. Yeah.